So, Spider-Man 2 is coming out this Friday. I'm pretty excited. As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion. I got some decorations out. And I figure now would be a good time to do me a little tier list video. Most Spider-Man games, ever since the Neversoft Spider-Man games, had a history of having a lot of different suits throughout Spider-Man's history. And a lot of the fun is finding out what suits they have included in each individual game. Some games have had more of a selection than others, but I feel like the Insomniac Spider-Man games had a pretty good selection of classic suits and some of the stuff that you wouldn't expect. And a lot of MCU stuff. I mean, a lot of MCU stuff. But that's to be expected because, you know, MCU be MCUing. So, I made a little tier list of all the suits that's available in Marvel's Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. And we're just gonna do a nice little tier list. We have it separated in the tiers as follows. We got Ultimate, Spectacular, Amazing, Friendly Neighborhood, and at the very bottom is Spooder. Obviously, the higher up ones are better, and the lower ones are not as good. I mean, they're not as bad, they're just least good. Don't look at me like that. Alright, so, starting off with Spider-Man, regular Spider-Man. I don't really want to... I guess I can call it Spider-Man 1. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so...
Please! Someone! I'm going to die!
So... OBS and my Windows Screen Record, or Windows Game Capture, whatever the hell it's called, decided to explode on me. So, we're going to do this a little bit differently than I've been doing it. So basically, I have the entire list completed already, and we're just going to go through from the bottom to the top, telling you why I put the suits where they are, and what the suit power is, and all that kind of jazz if it has a suit power. So, let's go ahead and start off with the Spooder tier. So, in Spooder tier, we have the wrestling suit, which gives you the King of the Ring power, which that makes you able to throw opponents around without having to web them up first. I didn't feel like the power was very useful compared to some of the other ones, and I also don't like the look of the suit. Also in Spooder tier is the undies, because, well, one, it's not really much of a suit, it's just Spider-Man running around in his drawers. The suit power is called Equalizer, which basically turns the game into heaven or hell mode from DMC. You go down in one hit and your enemies go down in one hit as soon as you activate it, which is probably useful in select cases, but for the most part that's just going to end up getting your ass killed. Next in Spooder tier is the ESU suit. It has no suit power associated with it. It's just Spider-Man in shirts and like a t-shirt and jeans with his mask on. Yeah, it's, of all the street clothes looks, it's one of the lamest ones. Next up in Spooder tier we have Spider-Clan from the Marvel Mangaverse. It just looks ugly. It's just ugly. It is easily the worst of all the cel-shaded costumes. I kind of wish they could have done like maybe that outfit but in a regular rendered style. But yeah, the shape is weird and it looks like shit. Next we have the homemade suit in Miles Morales. So the reason why and this is kind of mild spoilers, why I like the homemade suit in Homecoming better than this homemade suit is because the Homecoming suit still feels like something early Spider-Man would wear, like you could feel the Spider-Man on it, you know? But this, it just seems like you're just some random ass dude in a mask, and the spider design on it doesn't really scream spider. It just looks really thrown together. Even though the homemade suit is also thrown together, you can at least see the identity of Spider-Man in the shit. So, next we have the Bombastic Bagman. No suit power associated with it. The suit is cool. The bag is just a fucking paper bag. I get the reference. I appreciate the reference. Does nothing for me. Next, we have the Great Responsibility suit. Story-wise, it's a great moment, but pretty much once you get the classic suit for Miles Morales, you're not ever going back to this piece of shit. It just fits weird, and it's got knee pads, and yeah. Next up, we also have the Strike suit, also from Miles Morales. I do not like this suit. One thing to know about Miles Morales is there's not really any extravagant suit powers per se, except for the one, which we'll get to that later. But most of the suit mods and visor mods are passive, so you know you're really heavily focusing on the look of the suit, and the mask is weird, and I don't like the gauntlets. I hate the gauntlets. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Visions suit in Miles Morales. It's in there for the same reason as the ESU suit, though it is a little bit better than the fact that he's wearing a jacket as opposed to just a t-shirt. So there's that. And then lastly, in the Spooder tier, we have the Cozy suit, which honestly would be fine, and I probably would have put that in Friendly Neighborhood if not for the weird ass like leg warmers on it. Yeah, the leg warmers just ruin the whole fucking thing. Alright, and that's all for Spooder tier. We're going up a level to Friendly Neighborhood. So, first up in Friendly Neighborhood tier is the Spider Armor Mark II. Design wise, I like the colors. I don't really care for the design of the mask. As for the suit power though, it is bulletproof and it allows you to block firearms completely. I cannot remember if it does it for sniper rounds, but it is a pretty useful power, especially once you hit mid-game when just about every group of enemies you face either has a gun of some sort or a sniper rifle. So next up we have the Fear Itself suit. It's from a storyline where somehow Spider-Man has a suit that's made out of Stark Tech and Uru metal from Asgard. I don't like the gauntlets. I think a major complaint with a lot of the suits that I have here is the gauntlets. I also think the color of the suit is ugly. But the suit power of this one is quad damage. If you want to hit like a Mack truck, oh my god, dude, just pop this thing and just like boom, 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 you just be fucking dudes up. The suit power is what saves this from being put into Spooder tier. If not for that, it would be going straight Spooder. Next, we have the 2099 Spider-Man suit. I like the colors and like the design of the spider, but I think the material looks weird. It looks like he's vacuum sealed in that thing. It's like really tight, almost kind of skin-like. I don't like that. Suit power is low gravity. Basically, it makes it easier for you to air combo dudes, which I guess it has its utilities, but you have a gadget that does that, and you also have several moves in your move set already that makes it easier for it to keep enemies airborne, so it just seems kind of redundant. Next up, we have the black and gold suit from No Way Home. This is basically the suit that he wore after the upgraded suit got paint spilled on it and he flipped it inside out. Now, Spider-Man in black has classically been a good look. The problem with it is like the circuitry is cool, but there's loose wires and shit kind of there. I don't know, man. It's just the loose wires just make the whole thing look kind of tacky. There was no suit power associated with this one. Also in Friendly Neighborhood, we have the original Iron Spider costume. I never was a big fan of the Iron Spider look. I thought it was okay, but it definitely wasn't my favorite. There's no suit power associated with that either. Next up, we got the negative suit. The negative suit is something that happens in storyline where I can't remember how Mr. Negative, I guess he either pulls you into like a negative dimension or like he extends his power through a section of the city and it makes everything kind of negative. Either way, that's what Spider-Man's suit looks like when he's in that negative zone. And the suit power of this is like kind of a negative shockwave or negative explosion. So you hit it and it sends out an AoE wave of just like negative energy. The suit power is cool. The suit itself, it's just the advanced suit with a negative filter on it. Cool idea. Next we have the Spider Armor Mark IV. Basically it's just like a shiny version of his regular suit, which I'm not really a fan of. It doesn't really seem very armory in my opinion. The suit power though is pretty cool. You get this defense shield which will block damage for a set amount of time, which is very useful. I feel like the suit power is cooler than the actual suit itself, but since it is the red and blue, it's kind of a hard thing to fuck up. Next we have the Spirit Spider, which is basically what would happen when you cross Peter Parker with Ghost Rider and you get Spirit Spider, which design-wise is pretty unique. It stands out against all the other suits. It's just a flaming skull, but his body is kind of weird. It's like this naked, fleshy, kin body shit. I'm not really a fan of it. The suit power of this is the suit power is called Spirit Fire, and it's like an AoE that follows you around and does damage. Which there's a lot of the AoE suit powers that are similar, but just have different effects tied to it. Yeah, it's alright, but yeah, I just don't know why he's got to be so damn fleshy. Next we have the Resilient suit. It is an original suit created just for the game. Of the armors, I feel the same way about it that I do about Mark IV, except it's more blue than red, and I don't think the color balance, I think the color balance was kind of fucked up with it. Also, there is no suit power, so moving right along. We got Spider UK, which is alternate universe version of Spider-Man if he was stationed in the UK instead of New York. It's kind of in here the same reason that the Resilient suit is in there. It's just too much blue. Like the color ratio is just kind of weird on it. Next we have the electrically insulated suit. It's a suit that he wore to take on Electro in one of the issues. The suit power is Electric Punch, which does exactly what it says in the tin. It will electrify your punches and your attacks. It's more useful than you think, because not only does it do damage, but it also stuns too. This was actually a go-to for a good chunk of my playthrough, but the suit just looks kind of dopey. I get why it's designed the way it is, but yeah, the suit looks kind of dumb. Now we have the Arachno Rider, which this one kind of hurts. The design itself and the idea of the suit, of course, is an original design, is cool. I just think it would look better if it wasn't cell shaded. I think this is one of the ones that I feel would look better if it was just rendered normally. If it was rendered normally, it probably would be in Amazing tier, maybe in Spectacular, but 'tis what it is. Now we have the Programmable Matter suit, You can get this suit if you get all the underground caches and clear the underground bases. Essentially, it makes your suit look like an art project. Cool idea. I get what they are doing. Yeah, but I'm not too keen on it. And then lastly, in Fairly Neighborhood, we have the sportswear suit, which is taking heavy inspiration from Into the Spider-Verse. Sportswear is much better than the ESU and Brooklyn Visions and the undies. This is where the street clothes start to get cool, but there are much cooler street clothes designs further up the list. And it has no suit power associated with it, so there's that. And with that, we have wrapped up Friendly Neighborhood. Next, we're going to go into the Amazing tier. So what you'll find in the Amazing tier are suits that I feel like kind of fit the baseline of what, to look for in a Spider-Man game as far as the suits that they offer. We're going to knock out 2 in 1 here. We have the classic suit, a suit that you wear at the beginning of the first Spider-Man game, and then you also have its damaged variant, which you can get later on if you collect the tokens necessary for it. But as far as the classic suit, the suit power is the Web Blossom. Well, you jump in the air, spin around in a circle, and shoot a bunch of webs everywhere. It's actually pretty useful. If you're lucky, you can web people to the wall or to the floors and just, take them out of the fight instantly. It's like you have a bunch of impact webs just shooting everywhere at once. So it's a really good suit power, and of course it's in the middle because it's the basic ass Spider-Man suit. It's the baseline, which is also why the advanced suit is also in Amazing tier, because it's the basic suit for the game. The one thing I don't quite like about it is the thickness of the white spider. I feel like a thinner design probably would have looked much better, but I will say that the upgraded or the updated version of the advanced suit, I think they're calling it Advanced Suit 2.0 in Spider-Man 2, looks much better than the one in the first game. The suit power for the advanced suit is battle focus, which makes you have your focus bar automatically refill. Your focus bar is your second most important resource outside of, your gadget meter or your, of course, your health bar, because through it you can use finishers and you can heal yourself. So the fact that you can get your stuff to refill automatically so early in the game is a pretty good starter ability. It has a pretty good starter suit power and is useful throughout the entire game. Alright, now we have the stealth suit or big time suit. So as far as the origin of this suit, he used this suit to fight the Hobgoblin because he had some type of sonic screen power at the time, so he made this suit to combat that. As for the suit power itself, it has this ability called blur projection, which makes it so you're obscured from enemies within the range of the blur. So it's really good for stealth, but at the same time also makes it situational, because sometimes you won't have the luxury of doing stealth. As far as the suit goes, it's a damn good suit, so Amazing tier for that. Next, we have the Spider Armor Mark III. So this is definitely one of the cooler looking spider armors, I feel. As far as your suit power, you have the titanium plates, which makes it so you can reflect normal bullets, but it doesn't do shit against sniper rifle rounds. So it's one that its usefulness is situational, because I feel like later on in the game you're dealing with more sniper fire than you're dealing with actual bullets. So early game it's pretty good, but it kind of falls off mid game. But the suit itself, the design of the suit, I like it. It's the best armor so far. And speaking of armors, but it's an armor, but not of the Spider armor line. We have the Velocity suit, which is an original suit made just for the game, but there is a tie-in comic for it. It's really different. It looks like armor, but it's not bulky, and it doesn't have the weird gauntlet shit. It's a sleek armor, and that's kind of what I look for in, you know, an armored look for a spider. An armored look for Spider-Man. And the suit power is called Blitz, which honestly, I wish I used it more during my original playthrough. It has it to where if you activate it and you start running, it'll build up power, and whenever you bump into an enemy, it'll just knock them back. Which, if you're fighting on a roof, which 50% of the time you are going to be fighting dudes on a roof, you can knock them right off and it'll just take them out of the fight instantly. I was very impressed with how useful that thing actually was. I was dumb for not using it in my original playthrough. But the design of the suit combined with the power puts it squarely in amazing. Next we have the stealth suit, or your Night Monkey suit.
What's his name?
It's Night Monkey.
Night Monkey?
Yeah.
This is from Far From Home. It's the suit he was wearing whenever he was going up against Molten Man, I think, for the first time. There is no suit power associated with it, but Spider-Man in black, it's very hard to fuck that look up. Which is why we also have the dark suit, which I thought was an original suit at the time, but it was actually in some Spider-Man Deadpool crossover years ago. There is no suit power associated with that, so it's just for looks. And I guess keeping up the theme with black Spider-Man suits, we have the Advanced Tech suit for Miles Morales, which is basically his classic suit, just with a little bit of armor on it. It's a slight variation of his original suit, but his original suit is pretty damn good anyway, so it's gotta go here. Next up we have the Future Foundation Spider-Man suit. This is from the time when Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four and they didn't put a bag over his fucking head. Came out in every Spider-Man game since the suit debuted, so the fact that it showed up here is no surprise. Also, is pretty damn cool. There is no suit power associated with this one. Alright, now we're moving on to the Iron Spider suit, which gives you the Iron Spider legs, because why the fuck else would you have the Iron Spider suit? Design-wise, it's great. It is, once again, what I look for in a armored Spider-Man suit, and the suit power is really fucking useful because it gives you, like, basically it gives you a combo extender anytime you swing on a dude. Moving on, we have the Secret War suit. It's from a storyline from whenever Spider-Man was with S.H.I.E.L.D. and they were trying to take on Latveria. Again, it's a black Spider-Man suit with some colored accents. It fucking works. It rarely does it not work. The suit power is interesting. It's called Arms Race, which shoots out an EMP which disables firearms and other type of crazy projectile weapons. It's pretty much useful throughout the entire game. It was another one of my go-tos. Cool suit, good power. Alright, now we have the Spider-Verse suit for Spider-Man. It's the Spider-Verse's version of the original Spider-Man suit. It's a slightly different take on a classic. You can't really, it's kind of hard to fuck up the original Spider-Man suit. There is no power associated with it though, but Miles Morales will make up for that in spades. Now we have the animated suit for Miles Morales, going from one cel-shaded style to another. This one, when I looked it up, it was supposed to be taking a cue from Ultimate Spider-Man. Of the cel-shaded costumes or cel-shaded suits, I'd say it's definitely it's the baseline. It's the baseline for what your suit needs to look like. Not only does the shape need to make sense, but also the color choice and the shading too. There is no power associated with that. Same goes with the classic suit for Miles Morales. It's in there for the same reason that Peter's classic suit and advanced suit are in the same tier. No power associated with it. Same goes for the amazing Spider-Man suit from the Andrew Garfield movies. I think it's cool they put this suit in there. I can also understand why they went for this and not the one in the second movie, because the second movie is really similar to a lot of the other classic style suits in there. So I think if they had to go with one, that'd be the one to go for. No power is associated with that. Now we have the Purple Rain suit, which is a combination of the Prowler suit and Miles' Spider-Man suit. And you can get that by doing all the music missions in Miles Morales. It's actually the suit that I wore at the end of the game, like at the last mission. It's definitely a cool concept for a suit, and it's a color you don't really see very often Spider-Man wearing. You don't really see him wear purple that often, if at all. Now we have the Brooklyn Visions Academy suit. It's the classic suit with a blazer, a backpack, and headphones. I think he's wearing sneakers. Yes, he is wearing sneakers. Whenever you do the street clothes, I feel like you kind of have to have a jacket to go with it. I don't think anything else will do. Like, if you're gonna do a street clothes Spider-Man look, you gotta have a jacket or something over, like a hoodie or something, a hood. So it's starting to get to the street looks that I like, but it's not quite there yet, but it's definitely something that I wouldn't turn my nose up at. Okay, and lastly, an amazing tier is the Aaron Eichmann suit, which is another armor Spider-Man suit. So this one, I feel it gets the color of and like the overall design of the classic suit, but it's also mixed with armor really well. And this time, the gauntlets don't suck. We have finally fucking made it. There is no suit power associated with this. I feel like if you're going to do an armor, but kind of have some weight to it, but do kind of the color and the design of the regular Spider-Man kind of classic suit, this is the baseline. You should start from here. And we are finally out of the biggest section of this tier list. Next we are going to Spectacular, starting off with the Noir suit from Spider-Man Noir, who also shows up in Spider-Verse. Once again, Spider-Man in black, it rarely misses. The one thing that I wish they could have is the trench coat, but I understand why that's not there, because that's like extra fabric you gotta account for as far as physics and shit goes. His suit power is called Sound of Silence, which basically makes it so where you can take down enemies, but they won't be alerted to the sounds of the takedown. I think it's the best stealth suit power in the game. I feel it has more utility than a lot of the other ones, because there's times where like you need to get that one person, but he's just up somebody else's ass, and if you have the suit power available, you can just whoop, swoop in, bam bam bam, swoop out. Nobody knows you're even there. Moving on, we have the first Scarlet Spider suit, Ben Reilly's suit. I love Ben Reilly's costume, the hoodie. Like, Spider-Man and fucking hoodie started here. Like, without Ben Reilly, you wouldn't be getting any of this other cool shit we have later on the list. The suit power of this one is a holo decoy, which it does exactly what it says in the tin. It shoots out holographic clones of Spider-Man that will draw enemy aggro, giving yourself time to breathe. So it's the utility suit power, but there are times where you are getting jumped on, especially if you're fighting those big dudes and you need breathing room, and the Holo Decoy definitely does the trick on that. Moving on, we have Spider-Punk. Spider-Punk needs no introduction, especially if you've been watching that Spider-Verse. If you haven't watched Spider-Verse, stop looking at this video, watch Spider-Verse, and come back, because you're fucking up. So, the suit power that is associated with this is called Rock Out. It's another AoE type thing where Spider-Man will pull out a guitar, he'll start shredding, and then electric shockwaves will shoot out from around him. It's just as useful as the other shockwave abilities, but it's got more personality to it because he's pulling out a prop. So, there's that. Next, we have the 2099 white suit. So, this is higher up because I like the look of this white suit better. The fact that it's not, like he's not vacuum sealed, like it doesn't look skin-like, is a cooler look to me. There's also a little bit of that armored thing going on too. The suit power with this one is called Concussion Strike or Concussive Strike, which basically means anytime you swing on somebody, there's force that's built up that'll just send out a shockwave and it'll knock them the fuck back. And once again, if you're on a roof, instant win. Now we have the Vintage suit, which is cel shaded to be reminiscent of Amazing Fantasy 25. And the suit power associated with this is quips.
Complaints about my performance may be addressed to J. Jonah Jameson.
This is the most Spider-Man-ass Spider-Man suit in this game. Everything is born from this. This shit right here. The one downside is that I wish there was a way for you to access the quips without having it be tied to your suit power. I wish the quips had their own dedicated button, but it is what it is. Now we have arrived at the homemade suit
From Spider-Man Homecoming.
and I think it also showed up in Civil War. I can't remember, it's been a while since I looked at Civil War. I'm pretty fond of this suit. I mean, I'm wearing the fucking jacket, so there's that. No suit power attached to it, but it's really charming, and I feel like it succeeds where the other homemade suit failed, and then feeling like an actual, you can see the Spider-Man in progress in this. And continuing with MCU suits, we have the upgraded suit from No Way Home. It's the suit that he wore when he fought Mysterio in the end. This one is cool because there's some artwork of Spider-Man in the comic books where it looks like he's wearing like black or maybe dark navy or something and red, and we haven't seen that color scheme in any of the previous Spider-Man suits, so the fact they have this variant in here I think is cool. I just like the look. And speaking of liking the look, we have the hybrid suit from Far From Home, which combines the upgraded suit with the gold metal from the Iron Spider suit. And I feel like it's a perfect marriage between kind of metal and fabric. Though I've kind of wished there was a little bit more of the iron mixed in, but what they have there is acceptable. Now you have this motherfucker right here. Kane Parker, the second Scarlet Spider. All the power, none of the responsibility. It's such a kind of a dark tone costume-wise for Spider-Man, kind of sinister, because it's all red. You have a little bit of the black, but you got those big red eyes. I mean, if you really want to get across the fact that you're a Scarlet Spider, you can't get much more Scarlet than that. Yeah, no suit power, but I love the look of the suit. Same deal for this fucking Crimson Cowl. Man, it pretty much repeat my same thought process for the Scarlet Spider, the Kane Parker, to the Crimson Cowl. That's why Crimson Cowl is there. Okay, so are you guys ready for one of the best streetwear suits in both Spider-Man games. We have Miles Morales' The End suit, which The End was like a series of different Marvel heroes' like final stories, so to speak, or like a potential end to their journey. And you got Miles Morales basically going around in a jacket, a hoodie, combat boots, and fatigues. Like, what? It's just fucking sick, man. What more can you ask for? And going on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the strike suit. You kind of go from dark and kind of oppressive streetwear to bright and kind of techy. But I don't think there's any high-tech things going on with it. It's definitely the brightest suit that Miles has to offer. Now we have Uptown Pride, which you can get this by doing all the Spider-Man app missions in Miles Morales. It's really cool. You go and you pick it up in front of this very beautiful Black Lives Matter mural. I like the little triangles in the gold that kind of, when sun or light hits it, you can kind of see little triangles like etched into the gold of it. Kind of reminds me of Killmonger's outfit in Black Panther. Next, we have another 2099 suit, Miles Morales 2099, which he ends up in that timeline too. I think the coolest thing about this suit is the glowing eyes, which you can't really see unless you kind of turn them around a bit. No suit power, just think the look is dope. And we are nearing the end of our journey. We have made it to the ultimate tier. This is where the best are gathered. First up, we have the Anti-Ox suit. So this is like a triple threat. Not only is the suit power really good, resupply, which basically automatically refills your gadgets as you're using them. So if you use a whole lot of gadgets, this is the power for you. The design of the suit is great, and thematically is perfect. It's basically Peter using the technology that he helped build with Doc Ock to fight Doc Ock whenever he strays off the path. And going back to kind of the end, we have Spider-Man's Last Stand suit, which once again, like, if you throw Spider-Man in a cool ass jacket and jeans, it's a wrap. It's gonna be cool every single time. The storyline where this is basically Peter Parker goes all anti-hero, and he starts killing some of his villains, and he eventually ends up kind of a renegade loner, and he eventually suicides by cop. It is a very cheerful story. As far as the suit power goes, it's called Unrelenting Fury, which gives you super armor where you can just start swinging on dudes and you won't flinch a single bit, which can be good or bad depending on the situation, because if you're not careful, your ass can end up dead, just like Spider-Man did in Last Stand. Now, are you guys ready for like the most 90s ass costumes Spider-Man has ever wore? I hope you are, because they are my favorites. We have Cyborg Spider-Man, which I believe the first time I seen this suit was in the 90s cartoon. I think there was also an action figure that came out with it too. I never had that action figure. I always wanted it though. Yeah, it's just Spider-Man in like kind of a patched together suit with a headband, a like cyborg eye, and a cyborg arm. And he's got pouches for no fucking reason, and I love it. No suit power, but damn do I love that cyborg suit. Another one that I also love dearly is the OG Spider Armor, Mark 1. So this succeeds, I feel, where a lot of the other spider suits or spider armors fail, where it straddles that line between having armor but also having like kind of the mobility as well. And it's just silver and black. It is a fucking statement maker. But just like the cyborg suit, there is no suit power available for it. Next up, we have Miles Morales' Bodega Cat. This thing is awesome. So not only do I like the sweater and the backpack combo, but in the backpack you have Spider-Man, the cat from Teo's Bodega. So you can take him out on adventures with you. He'll pop out and he'll do his cat shit. The coolest thing about it is, like, whenever you use specific finishers, Spider-Man the cat will pop out and help you do damage in your finishers. Like, I mean, it doesn't do extra damage, but he just comes out and he'll, like, scratch or bite the enemy. Is the coolest shit. Like, they really did not have to do that. They really went the extra mile. It is a damn good suit. Not only does it look cool, but it has a cool function. Next we have the Stark suit from Civil War and Homecoming. I really like the Stark suit. I think it's probably my favorite MCU Spider-Man suit, just because it kind of mixes the kind of costume design of the MCU with the classic look of Spider-Man suit. I also like kind of the black accents kind of added to it. It pays homage to the classic suit, but it also does its own thing too. The Stark suit power is really good too. Is definitely one of my favorite suit powers. It basically gives you little spider drones that'll go out and shoot at your enemies. Good for crowd control. You got somebody out there watching your back. It's literally the best. I love the Stark suit. It is great. Okay, so this suit right here, the End of the Spider-Verse suit, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The only reason this suit is in here is because of the suit mod and the visor mod associated with it. I think the suit itself is... I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like the suit that he wears in the sequel better. Hopefully that suit is in Spider-Man 2. But the visor and the suit mod basically animates him like Spider-Verse. So he moves like there's frame cuts, and anytime he hits something, there's comic book bam, pow, zap, you know, like in the old Adam West Batman TV show. This is another case of them just going above and beyond and really loving the hell out of that version of Spider-Man. And anytime any developer puts that much love and care into something, you gotta show respect. You gotta show respect. So there's no way I was gonna put that anywhere other than Ultimate, just for the fact that without that suit, you don't get that mod and you don't get that visor. So that's my thoughts on that. And last but far from least is the Miles Morales 2020 suit. Fuck, man. The jacket with the sleeves rolled up, you got the little S thing on the side that nobody knows the origin of. He's wearing headphones built into his mask. He's got the Daft Punk shit going on. Like, when it comes to the street clothes, most people say that the End suit is the best. I love the End suit, but man, do I love that 2020 suit much more. Fuck, that thing is just sharp as hell. And that is it. That is the tier list. The video definitely did not go the way I originally intended it to, but I got the information across all the same. Here's hoping that Spider-Man 2 will have a good selection of suits available for us in the coming days. I've only seen a few, mainly just the ones that they've shown off in trailers, and I've managed to kind of keep myself unspoiled because I want to be totally surprised when I come in with all the suit options. But of all the stuff I've been seeing so far, I think I'm going to be pretty satisfied with the suits they offer this time around. And yeah, that's it, and I will catch you guys with another video soon. Y'all have a good one.